everybody, One of Wisdom here, late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, I guess the 19th now. We are slowly whittling away at the pool table. We did another Skylanders Imaginators live stream tonight. Last I checked the poll, people were wanting to see Breath of the Wild more than Imaginators, actually. And I've yet to actually hook the Switch up. I've had a lot of people like, man, how do you like the Switch? What is it like? I've got the initial experience with my nephews at his birthday, and mine is right here behind Archer Link, honestly. So I've not even hooked it up. Hopefully tomorrow, and maybe we can jump into the stream. That said, something I wanted to hopefully accomplish over the weekend was clear the pool table off a little bit more. So we're going to move Airstrike and Flare Wolf here. Right here in the middle, we're just going to go for the gold, if you will. We're going to open up the Guardian. Now, obviously, if I've not connected my Switch, and if you recall from the unboxing of the Switch and the story behind it, all I've played is 1-2 Switch, okay? I've got Breath of the Wild, we've opened Breath of the Wild, we've checked out the Collector's Edition Strategy Guide for Breath of the Wild, but I've not played it. I've seen a few, and I do mean a few. I didn't want to, spoil too much. I've seen, some of Cinemassacre playing Breath of the Wild. That's about it. And it was basically just a deal where I was like, oh yeah, I want to buy the game. And that's the end of it. I've also seen a ton of people on Twitter sort of retweeting and sharing, GIFs of Guardian battles, basically. Instead of just coming into this completely knowing absolutely nothing and telling you, hey, this is a Guardian and here it is, I actually busted out the good old strategy guide here. I used the index that I was bragging on them for including, and open it up. It's like a section on specifically the enemies. I believe what this one would be termed, let me just grab this for you, because again, this thing will come in handy if you do in fact decide to pick it up. I was trying to find the cover page. It's actually, alright, so bestiary, if you will, right? That's a little section here. And Guardians were on this page. Guardian vehicles. Here you can see Guardian Stalker. I believe we've done our Audubon work here. We've matched up what's in the box with what's in the guidebook. And the HP is 1500. Rank, I'm not sure quite what that ties in with. But Hyrule Field, okay. And just so you know, there's Stalkers, there's Skywatchers, there's Turrets, there's Decayed ones, and there's Sentries. So they all kind of share a similar structure, but apparently, we'll just go ahead and shut that because it shut itself. I would have to say this is the Guardian Stalker, right? I don't know, maybe it says that on the packaging. If you note, this is like the size of 2 amiibo, right? We've got Zelda and then Rider Link over here, and it's basically the same width, if you will. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Yeah, it's basically dwarfing them. This is, I believe, the most massive amiibo I have ever held in my hands, at least the box. There's also something else very cool about it, but you can see the artwork there for the Guardian Stalker. It is identified only as a Guardian on the packaging. It's shooting the laser out of its size. I'm guessing these are fairly common and possibly garden variety, I don't know. Apparently pretty frequent encounters, and I guess memorable ones at that if it warrants an amiibo. You see the Nintendo amiibo logo, sort of continuing the red and the white color scheme here. And there's a shot from the side. The legs are to be posable, believe it or not. I've not actually looked at the back of this. There's sort of something more akin to what we'll see in the game. Pretty menacing looking dudes, I must say. Adventure with Amiibo in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Score rare weapons and items to help you on your adventure. Note, fully adjustable legs is advertised, so it has that brown base. You can see that much better with the other Amiibo. On the Wii U, interesting that they have the 3DS there. I guess that's just by default? I don't know. Seems like we should have placed the Switch and the Wii U. I wonder what this would do. I wonder if these will eventually be implemented in to maybe, Hyrule Legends and other games. Maybe Mario Maker gets an update and this will do something. I don't know. But again, seems to me Switch and Wii U would have been the better options. Because again, don't forget Breath of the Wild. If you can't get a Switch and you're just devastated because you can't play Breath of the Wild, you can if you have a Wii U. Just go that route. Supposedly has faster load times even, which makes sense since it was roughly developed on that. where development began there, I suppose. Perhaps the coolest thing about this, you can probably see, they've actually laid out, and this is what sucks about the way they do Amiibo. This looks so amazing in the packaging. It's going to be large and cumbersome whether we open it and unbox it, or whether we leave it in said packaging. As is, we can't scan it in and unlock, get the functionality anywhere because they've got the foil. I'm sure there's the foil piece we're going to find when we open this thing up. With a Skylander, if this looked amazing to you, you could keep it sealed, zero issues whatsoever. You can play with it through the box, right? Not the case with Amiibo, even with like little standard fare stuff over there, so that is a bit unfortunate, but what can you do, right? This thing retails $19.99, which seems ridiculous to me. Even though it is larger, I don't really think Amiibo should crest past the $12.99 range. This would be $12.99. I'd be fine with that, you know. $15.99, you know, maybe. But the good news is I'm a thrifty little dude, and instead of paying $19.99, these have kind of sold out now too. They're getting harder to find, as with most of this stuff. But $19.99 was the MSRP. I got it on Amazon through Prime for $15.97. Still, in my opinion, way more than it should cost, even though it's large, even though it's cool. Because let's face it, to get the functionality, you've got to open this. Even if you carefully open it and then reseal it and just remove the foil, you've still got to open it. And that, of course, is only mint condition once, children. So, to me, it's kind of like Skylanders. I treat them the same way. The price points, in my opinion, $9.99, $12.99 ought to be max. I could see this being in that same range. And then the rest of the series here, maybe $10, but hey. It does look cool if you're a huge Legend of Zelda fan. If you happen to become a huge Breath of the Wild fan, this is probably something you would want on display. Whether it's in or out of the packaging would be a personal preference. But to use it, we need it out, so that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead, I guess, and just open this thing up. But again, Amazon's really the only place I've seen with anything, and it's one of those things they don't really advertise it. It's like, hey, place this in your cart and see what kind of a deal you get. And you're like, ooh, I'm special. And a lot of times, you know, they do that with like high-end electronics. Not just Amazon, but a lot of retailers. And I guess that's what the Amiibo has sort of evolved into. Man, this is packed well. Alright, got that opened. But what I wanted to showcase there, and what I was kind of referencing this whole time, I'm sure you've been looking at it, the ground. Sort of ruinic stone bricks laid out with the grass coming up through them as they decay. That is pretty cool, I must say. So, the good news is every Amiibo I've ever unboxed has been insanely easy to get out because of the uniform base. I don't know if that'll be the case here. We might have ourselves a bit of a challenge. So here's the packaging. We'll set that down. I guess if you wanted to have this thing on display, there's the problem. Little piece of cardboard's got foil on the side so the NFC doesn't read through the packaging. I really don't know why they continue to do that. I get they're trying to safeguard people from custom nicknames and things that people might find offensive, but seriously, you know, there's an awful lot of people that would really like to use all those sealed Amiibos hanging on their wall, and there's a lot of people that would probably buy more if they could keep them sealed. And there would also, for the people that buy some to hang on the wall or throw on a shelf, and then buy a second one to open up and use, that means there would be more Amiibo on the shelves for everyone else. So, it's kind of one of those deals. This looks really cool out of the packaging, though. So basically, this is just a cardboard overlay. And, oh snap! Is that actually, oh no way. Okay, so they did some cool stuff here. So we've got sort of, you know, the ruined stone brick pathwork, foundation, slabs, who knows. Check this out though, right here I was thinking, oh cool, that cardboard's been up really realistically. That's not cardboard, that thing is actually the base of the figure. As with all Skylanders, it looks like they were smart and they didn't really cradle these legs. That would have been a bad thing. But they did cradle it by the head. And let's see, it's a 45 degrees, so it should snap. Indeed it does. And that will allow this to come upright. But will this guy just slide out? Let's find out. Okay, so we got this off. This is pretty cool, I've gotta say. Does it justify the $20 price point? No, but it is neat, so we will credit them where credit is due. This is going to be the most difficult amiibo we've ever had to get out of there. We did it quite well. Testament probably to the packaging, but they did put some effort into that. Fairly heavy, super menacing looking. The way that eye or the laser beam, I don't really know what to call it. It's, I guess it would be an eye, right? Sensory type of a thing. The way that catches light as I twirl it around, very, very cool. Again, my apologies having not played the game. I don't quite know how to reference or describe everything accurately. Let's count the legs though. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 legs on this Guardian Stalker. I don't know if they're sort of like rotund and the legs are more tentacles, or if they're more spider-like and, you know, the legs are literally their forward and side-to-side mobility. Who knows? Again, haven't really played the game. Every time I see like the GIFs people do on Twitter, it's like where they're killing them or getting wrecked by them, and they're kind of stationary with these twirling about. So, you know, are they supported by legs I don't see? I don't know. But all I can really tell you is it looks pretty cool. This just has a look of like, it's almost like if we were at a, you know, archaeological site and we were digging. This is almost like something you could imagine being exhumed from the earth, if you will. It's just sort of got like an old and a somewhat cyber futuristic type vibe to it, but still old and you know, ancient at the same time. So the base here, as you can see, it's kind of got this natural green-brown color. I don't really know what else to describe it as. You see the amiibo logo there. But check that out. It kind of gets lost with the heft of the figure. But the base here, it's got a plateau of like the stone brick foundation all the way around it in varying forms. There's not much here. You can sort of see the top of the amiibo puck. But like here, it comes out pretty far. On this side, it's right up against the edge. That's really cool. That's something a lot of people won't talk about or even reference. To me, it's pretty sweet. The little claws don't seem to be posable, but hey, it's not a big deal. They kind of maintain their menacing nature here. Let's move this one. Oh yeah, I wouldn't say it's like the most. It's not like we're dealing with pipe cleaners. I haven't even thought of those in an eternity. I don't even know if some of you will know what I'm talking about. Way back in the day when I was a kid, there were these little like wires with fuzz on them. And they're called pipe cleaners. They could probably like fit through bigger straws, I guess. But you'd make like bow ties and ladybugs and crud out of them. I never know if my nephew had. I haven't seen pipe cleaners in an eternity. I've got a research project tonight. If you know what I'm talking about, a pipe cleaner, don't Google it. Don't cheat, but let me know, like, if you know what I'm talking about, and if you do know what I'm talking about. Question 1, when is the last time you thought of them? And question 2, have you ever seen them recently? Like, I'm trying to think, even with my nephew, all the school projects he's had to do, I don't ever, like, I mean, when I was a kid, it was always a pipe cleaner project, whether it's glued to construction paper, like you make a snowflake or something, you know? I've never seen kids making the 6-pack, you know, Coke bottle snowflake things either. Those were always interesting. Anyway, I don't know. I guess that's something, you know, grow up in the 90s, you know. When was the last time kids cleaned their desk with shaving cream? I don't know. We did it all the time. But I wish I could tell you more about this. All I know is it looks pretty cool. There is this sensory right here that's sort of got like the emerald blue. I guess that's kind of contradictory, but I mean, it's almost if we took emerald green and blue and put it together. Is it aquamarine? I don't know my gemstones that well. It's not diamond, is it azure? I don't know. There is something on the back side. I don't know if that's another sensory outlet or just like some port of some sort. I don't know. What we do know, Amazon.com is where I got this. $19.99 is retail. I have seen them at Target, which they sold out. I've not seen it since. Toys R Us had them. Monday after the Switch launch. I've not seen it there since. They had most of these, but not the Guardian, when I was in there and got these Easter Skylanders. Haven't really been in any other stores. I know GameStop.com, it's been sold out for a while. Maybe local stores have a chance of having it, but it's cool. It looks so neat in the packaging, yet we have to open it to do this. I'm just going to keep it out of the packaging. Honestly, it's fine by me. But let me know your thoughts on this guy. If you've played Breath of the Wild, you got any cool stories on these Guardians? If you haven't played Breath of the Wild, and this is kind of like your first exposure to, hey, that thing looks like it'd be really cool to tackle in battle. Is this influencing you any? Is it something you want to pick up? If you play Breath of the Wild and this turns out to be really cool, is this something that you're going to hopefully add to your amiibo collection? What exactly it unlocks and how much it varies here and there, I don't know yet. Probably when we first boot up the game, we'll derp around a little bit, and then we'll probably start throwing down some amiibo, see what we can get. But nonetheless, thanks so much for watching. Hope you learned a little bit. Again, we at least had the strategy guide to kind of guide us a little bit. And again, that's my big thing with the strategy guides. I love not only kind of getting like the insights from the developer and the artwork, but basic things that don't really spoil stuff, the enemies and what they're called. That's what I loved about the Skylanders guides. When they quit introducing all of the enemies, you could always be like, okay, I just played through this chapter, come in, there it is, here's the enemy, here's the next enemy, that's what they're called, cool, now I know. I don't know, I'm thinking what I've seen in the gameplay, including trailers from Nintendo, I think enemies are typically introduced in this, so that'll be pretty sweet. But nonetheless, I will quit rambling. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts on this. OneOfWiisdom.com is my personal website. You can follow me on Twitch. You can follow me on Beam. Those are the two places that I stream. You can also follow me on Twitter. I will always tweet before I go live. SkylanderClub.com is the forum, not just for Skylanders. We've got dedicated sections for Amiibo, Nintendo, gaming in general, so you can have a good time there. Again, I created it, I run it, I made it for people like yourself. Check it out. If you like it, sign up. I'd love to have you join us. And if you're into Minecraft, mindlogics.net. That said, thanks so much for watching. Thanks to Prime, I guess, for saving me, $4 or $5 on this thing. So, that said, thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you back here for more action from the pool table.